So this is a late 17 argument. So you know how you could freelance? Okay, I might have my robot Konami release the title of this. It's a Final Fantasy video game, the Final Tale. Believe it or not, I'm the artist of Final Fantasy. My robot Konami from Cartoon Network animated. This is the final Final Fantasy I'm gonna make. So take a good look at what it says and memorize it. Yeah. So this is based on my life in real life. I grew up without parents for being an emoji child. My parents had this eye shape, which is Greek, both larger than one another, and I was born with this eye shape. An Egyptian mixed eye shape, which I wear in person's outfit. I'm related to a whole bunch of characters from Final Fantasy. Believe it or not, they're not the ones you see today. They're lookalikes that died thousands of years ago. When I became an archaeologist and discovered the Final Fantasy X memory rock, where I invented a scanner by asking my uncle, I invented a camera to invent it. But in Realm as lesson, I had to invent it myself. So I grew up with Egyptians, and believe it or not, I grew up a denied child by Symphony. Like I don't want to take care of them or anything, or any of my. Basically, the ones that took care of, believe it or not, have 1,689 brothers and sisters. They only took care of the ones that resembled them, but they ended up dying in real life because they were emoji parents by Sudan because they were a mania that they kidnapped some other children from other births. So this is how I coped, believe it or not. I used to read folklore stories. Remember when the teacher said some are real, some of them are not, which is folklore, folk myth, and all that. So I grew up reading all those 13 genres, and one day I discovered the rule of guideline that you can make your own if you're your own ethnicity. So I invented my own rule of guideline. I uploaded no video, and this is what I call the monogrid. I love the writing and such, since I went to school to elaborate it and make sense. So here's an example. I draw it. I'm the most successful animation artist and, believe it or not, wealthy, rich. I'm a billionaire. I own every property there. I have the credit score union record by Sudan Law 19 since I grew up kind of a bastard and he learned a lesson because an old Egyptian mixed Canadian educated me in solar and somebody tried to. First, they tried to kill my other brother and steal his sperm, but I went under an impersonator's outfit to me. My relatives I uploaded on video, which is Carmela Jua'n, by students since I grew up with nobody. Believe it or not, I grew up in a desert region on my own. But I ended up impressing the worldwide student, world leaders, which then I earned 100 million something miles in my land of birth, which is Egypt. I'm the richest person in the world, also 29 years old. So this is the monogrid. A long time ago, I heard about Sudan, and one day I said, well, if it's virtue of the world, if I throw it on the grass and smidge my foot in it, I stepped on it, it stained grass link like this, and I know reality that one day it'll give me like a quest, as it says right here, or as an example, but it don't say quest, right? As you see, it says something waiver of magnitude yourself. So if you look at the stains, it resembles things I draw right on the video game, like the circle where I put the mana and the materia. So this is how I created it. Believe it or not, sometimes it stains symbols from the language, and I roll and then translate it up null. But one day, I have my first ever created mana. It's in my property. It ignored the phenomena where I stepped on it and nobody manipulated the one where it says hey game here, where it said leave in Kakuli, the language, and I took off and I learned, like I told you, I upload all my video games based on a true story, and it's no. by not just me, also persons in the past, torture chamber persons that you know murder by Stat 7 Education Board 9. And so this is equilateral. My belief right here looks seems like a Japanese symbol and a crudum for like latitude, for example, with a Steingrass, which gives meaning to my hieroglyphic translation, but a U is like mathematical order. But it's a slur. Today I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna explore my property to see what emerges around the realm. That's how I grew up ever since I was 5 years old up to today. I still do it, 29 years old. And wolf, collateral wealthy. I'm gonna keep on stepping in on it for 3 years, like I did back then, till it looked like those video game papers, yellow stain, like that one, and like an old Marque'z. Believe it or not, this was my legend. Have you seen the other upload with the log game? I roll and folded it origami and a bracelet and in corp. Myth of Destiny, just like when I pointed a blue flashlight and you saw that resemblance face. Spook's folklore story, between of my luck and destiny. So that's what I wanted to share. This is the Final Fantasy re-edit and remaster. It's gonna be sort of like Kingdom Hearts, but makes graphic better. This is gonna be. I'm gonna read up. I have my robot A Tsunami, an animation robot, since I own Cartoon Network, the channel. Remaster and edited the art. So do enjoy and follow.